I was born and raised in Georgia. Uh, I was staying in a house with my brothers down in Cumming, Georgia. One of my brothers, in special, had a mind of a 10-year-old kid. Back last year, he became very sick and went to the hospital. When he went to the hospital, they said he had a stroke. Like I said, he had a mind of a 10-year-old kid. He smoked so many cigarettes that his lungs collapsed with him. By him being in the hospital, it made me have a stroke. I went to the hospital and I was on the same floor he was on. I got four brothers. My next to the oldest brother was there with my brother, singing with a guitar, playing the guitar, telling the doctors what to do with my brother while he was in ICU. Well, the doctors came to my bedside, to make a long story short, and said, "We want you to take you to court." I said, "Court for what?" "I want to make you your brother's medical power of attorney." I didn't know what that meant, but now today I know what it meant. I'm living out of a bag because of the choice that I made. Uh, I went to court. The judge awarded me custody of my brother. Well, again, I didn't know what that meant. Well, September the 27th, I went to court. September 29th, they made me his medical power of attorney. I took him off of life support on September the 29th. My birthday, September the 30th. He died 19 minutes later. Because of my brother passing away, and I was staying in the house with him, my other brothers put all my stuff in the dumpster. So now I'm living out of a bag. I got nowhere to stay except on the sidewalk. I've been on the streets now for almost, well, a little over a year and a couple of days. My brothers call me the nigger lover because I date outside my race. I don't care what they call me, I don't care. When you love somebody, you love them. Again, I didn't know what that meant. My brother called me 45 times a day on this phone right here. He has service with through Verizon Wireless for 30 years in my name. Because of that, Verizon Wireless gave me free service ever since he passed away. On this same phone that he has service on. There's nothing like, if you've ever been through it, is watching your brother pass away. You can't do a damn thing about it except watch it happen. Uh, Nobody will help you. People go by and shoot your bird and tell you, get you a job, go to work. Well, you know, if I could work, I would. This guy at the hospital just had two of my toes cut off. I got prostate cancer. Uh, Diabetes are eating me up. They gave me 6 months to live 3 days ago. But you know what? I don't believe that.
I don't believe it.
The power of God has got all kinds of power. And if you believe in God like I do, John 14:15 says, anything you ask in my name, it shall be given. So I don't know what else to say except I thank God. I thank God for bringing me this far. The girl I was dating, she dumped me because I had nowhere else to stay. I tried to stay with her. She wouldn't allow it. So I met another girl. This girl, she's young, 25 years old.
Uh-oh.
She said she loves me.
Oh.
Well, if she did love me, when I called, she'd answer the damn phone. Me and her have been seeing each other now for almost close to a month. I was in the hospital. I met her online. She come to the hospital by my bedside and stayed with me for almost 2 or 3 hours. That was our first date. Was in the hospital, in the hospital beside the hospital bed. So you know, I got 2 kids of my own. I got 4 stepkids. My daughter got shot in the head out in the state of Missouri here about a month ago. I'm sorry.
Good thing, man. You all right, man?
I couldn't go to the funeral. I haven't seen my kids in so long, it's unreal. They put her, when they shot her in the head, they put her in the cooler. People was coming in the store trying to buy gas. Nobody's at the register. So this so happens they looked in the cooler, and there she was laying in the cooler. She was still living. They rushed her to the hospital. They called me up and they said, well, what you want to do with your daughter? I said, what do you mean? Well, it's your choice. Again, she's on life support. You got to take her off or let her stay on. Well, what does the brother say about it? He says it's up to his dad. That's why I'm calling you up. We need to use a picture ID of you and a signed piece of paper saying you'll take her off or let her stay on. If she stays on, she's going to be a vegetable. She's going to be in a nursing home. So see what I'm saying? I've been through so much stuff. When she died, my son blamed me for it. And he asked me to do it. See what I'm saying? It all falls back on me. So me losing my brother and my daughter all in 2 or 3 months apart, you know, I've been through a lot.
What would you say to somebody that still has their family members on how they should treat somebody? Because, you know, you never know how long you're going to have people, right? And sometimes how you treat people is something you don't really think about until it's too late.
If you have a family member that y'all get along, and if you don't get along, you should help your family. Because, you know, I believe when it comes to family, blood is thicker than water. And I think that you should be there for your family. No matter how much you think he's done wrong or what he did wrong, he's still your family member, or she.
How does the law treat the homeless people here in the state of Georgia?
Like shit. They tell you if you have a sign and you flagging it to try to get help, they'll put you in jail for it. They'll give you a place to stay.
For panhandling?
For panhandling, that's what it's called. If you have a sign like mine, I'm not asking for nothing. Even the police here in Georgia has given me money, has stopped and given me money. So, you know, not all polices are sorry, but 85% of them are. So if you got 15% of them is bad, that makes 85% of them that's good turn bad. You see what I'm saying? So that means that, you know, you I don't know, I mean, they treat you like crap. I've seen guys sleep on a wall beside the church. Women go out there and pee on a bush with a bus sticking up in the air. And the cops going by and blowing a horn at them, you know, they need a place to stay. The shelters here in Georgia will give you a place to stay only if that bed opens. If they have a bed open, you have to go in there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You got to be out by 7 o'clock in the morning. You got to get on the phone. You have to call them. Call. You finally get a hold of them and tell them your name, and they'll put you on the list if they got a bed available. If not, they tell you, try again tomorrow. So you're sleeping out in the rain. I mean, it really is bad here in Georgia. So I advise you, if you're homeless, don't come to Georgia, because they're not going to help you. They give you a piece of paper and tell you, here's the source that we have, that you can get food, go certain days a week. How in the hell are you going to cook food if you got on the damn sidewalk? They give you canned goods you can't open if you ain't got a can opener. So what good is bread if you ain't got something put on it? I mean, you know, and it fills you up, I guess, but I don't know.
So, how bad do you think the homelessness is in the Atlanta area?
Bad. They are really, really bad. You know, Atlanta, especially down there by Grady Hospital, they're so bad they're sleeping underneath the bridges. They got a thing down there in Atlanta that's called Tent City. I don't know if you've seen it now, but they got tents all underneath the bridge. And then when it rains, they all get flooded out. But they have got, the homeless in Atlanta are real bad.
Yeah.
I thought Gainesville was bad, but Gainesville is bad. I'm standing out here doing this. I was over in Walmart's parking lot doing it, and I had to leave there because Walmart's people, they run me out of there.
Okay.
I went back there the other day and looking in there, and people doing the same thing I was doing. They're
They
doing
burned
it.
the spot up for it, yeah.
Yeah, and they're
And
doing
there probably ain't nothing wrong with some of them people.
thing, I seen a guy took so much money and got in a brand new car and drove out, sitting there in a wheelchair, wanting
Yeah.
money. If I was doing what you were doing, I would have recorded that. That bought me some money
Yeah.
because he was
No,
really.
I expose them. In the I see people. They some of the scams that I see are they panhandle with children. In Atlanta, you got the water boys. You seen that crap? They got the little,
Oh yeah,
little,
you
the
get to
little
sit.
black kids out there.
Tell them
and,
water.
you know, toddlers practically. You know, the parents might be on drugs or the parents don't take care of them. And you got little kids, they're selling water, but they're not really selling water. They're really begging. You know, and, you know, it's wrong in our society. And if you think about Atlanta, there's so much money in Atlanta. And you got people driving by in $300,000 cars, ignoring a toddler on the side of the road selling water.
You know, if every car went by on this road right here and give me $1 in hours time, I'd be rich.
Yeah, of course.
But they won't do that. They want to give you a quarter even. You see me holding this sign. I've been here since 7:30 this morning, 8 o'clock this morning, excuse me.
Yeah.
I made probably $7 in
All day,
all day, well, all morning.
all morning, yeah.
It's still young and it's still early. I mean, young, it's still early. So we'll see what happens. I'm 67 years old. This is my first time ever experiencing anything like this. So anyone listening to this video, if you have any people on the sidewalk, that you please help them. Get them off the sidewalk and pray for me that I will get off this sidewalk. I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I do take pain pills for my foot, but as far as illegal drugs, I don't take them. I ain't had a beer in 35 years and don't want one. Have I ever smoked a cigarette? No. My brother, the one that just died last year of September, whenever he called me up, he said he wanted money. If he ever said that he loved me, I know he wants money. What are you calling for? I see what you're doing, bye. And you call back 5 minutes later. Well, I was doing what I was doing 5 minutes ago. I'm working. What do you want? He said, I just called to tell you I love you. I said, what do you mean? You telling me you love me. What do you want? I know you want something. I want $160.
Oh, me too.
I said, for what? He said, I want some cigarettes. Keep in mind, he got a mind of a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, I got you.
So what did I do? I see his caregiver $120. I called him back. I said, "You get your money?" He said, "No." What do you mean no? I wanted 160, not no 120.
Oh.
I remember those words to today.
Yeah.
But you know, he didn't know to hurt me, you know. But he was the kind of person that he would walk through hell for me. If he knew if I was homeless right now, he'd come back from the grave, beat my brother's butt, every one of them. I can't believe my brother put me on the sidewalk like this. And they don't call me, ask me how I'm doing or nothing. And they know my number. That hurts me so bad when, you know, when I go over there, I went over a couple months ago to see how they was doing. They called the law on me. Not one car came, not two, not three, but 4 cop cars showed up and told me, said, "Glenn, go and have to leave, I'm about to lock you up. They didn't want you out here." My brother called and told them that I threatened him. I thought, one thing about it, if I'd have threatened him, he'd be on his ass right now, not standing on his feet. He said, "I believe you. I know that. I know you." And I said, "Look, I'm fixing to have my toes cut off. I'm not doing good." He said, "Well, they told me they don't give a damn if you die. So you over here, just, you know, if you want a pity party, they're not going to give you one. You need to go find your place to go and leave them alone." Everything you want to know, let me know. If I can answer it, I'll answer
All right,
it.
man. So you mentioned you had a black girlfriend, and that was a lot of trouble for your family. How prevalent is racial tensions here in the state of Georgia? I know in Florida, it's hit and miss. I've lived in Alabama where it's horrible.
Well, back in 1980, there was no blacks at all in Cumming, Georgia, or in Dawsonville. I don't know if you know anything about Jose Williams. You know him?
No, sir. No, sir.
But he's the one that for all black people in the whole U.S. He's all about blacks.
All right.
He's black himself. So back in 1980, they had a riot in Cumming, Georgia. 25,000 marched through there. Jose Williams was the first black man ever in Forsyth County Jail in Cumming, Georgia. Now, I'm not saying this to be mean,
Yeah.
but if you're black, I wouldn't go through Cumming, even though they do live there now. We I'm just waiting for one of these white cops stops one of these blacks, our Mexicans, our Chinese, and there's gonna be a war. So back in '82, when the war came through there was no blacks there. Now you got blacks driving cop cars. You got blacks running to jail, all because of the racial thing. It's not no longer like it was in Cumming. Now Atlanta's okay. Dawsonville is very, very prejudiced. If you're black, don't go through that.
Yeah. And
They-
vice versa. If you're white, you go to the black areas in Atlanta, it can
I
be
can
bad
walk.
too.
I can walk through that butt naked in Atlanta.
Nobody bothers you?
Nobody bothers
Maybe
me.
in the past, I guess.
Well, no. Now in certain areas of Atlanta,
Yeah.
if you go downtown and you go down in the ghetto, you're gonna have a problem if they don't know you.
Yeah.
If they do know you, they're gonna invite you into their house,
Gotcha.
give you a
So
cold
it's a
beer to
trust
drink.
issue.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I lived in Montgomery, Alabama, and it was a nightmare.
Actually, I'm Portland, Alabama. You know where Portland, Alabama was at?
Important.
Port Payne, Gaston,
Oh yeah,
Alabama.
Fort Payne. Yeah, that's all mountainous, very mountainous.
Yeah,
Albertville.
and that's
Fort
where the
Payne.
Oakridge boys was.
Yeah, Fort Payne. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Well, Northern Alabama, they're so against blacks in Northern Alabama that they actually let Mexicans move in for the chicken plants and all that, because they said they weren't going to have blacks moving to Northern Alabama. So there's a Spanish community there because they didn't want blacks. So like here, this community now, I think it's like 40% Hispanic now. Are they mostly Mexican here
oh yeah,
mostly Mexican?
in Gainesville, yeah.
in Gainesville? Gotcha.
Well, there's a few around in Cumming, but most of all the Mexicans out here in Gainesville.
In Gainesville. Do you think there's tensions between the white and the black community, or black and Hispanic, or is it just pretty chill, or tough call?
I think it's close call.
Close
yeah.
call?
Yeah.
All right. So it's not horrible.
No,
It's pretty
we
fair.
had, it's something to remember. We just had a shooting out here in Winder, Georgia. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't know, sir.
It's on the news.
Mhm.
This boy, 14 years old,
Yeah.
went in there and killed 2 teachers
Oh,
and 2 students.
horrible.
His daddy know that he was doing it. His daddy, he used his daddy's gun
Uh-huh.
to do it. So due to the fact of him being a minor, they locked his dad up too.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. The dad they had already arrested him before, and the dad was encouraging the kid. How you gonna have a kid? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and
That was up this way.
Yeah, and it has never been nothing like that in schools in Georgia. I was brought up in Georgia, and they had never been nothing like that since I went to school. Never.
But they
Never been
arrested the
shoot
dad
at.
with reason because the kid had already made trouble
Yeah, before, yeah. and
before.
you-
So imagine you got a kid that's already made trouble,
Why
and
don't you
now
give a man a gun
you give
now?
him access to something dangerous. So it is. I believe in that circumstance, that guy was guilty because if you got a kid that's already causing trouble in the school, how are you going to give him access to something dangerous?
Well, what gets me is his mom was the one that turned him in, and she knows he was doing it. Why ain't she in jail too? Why only like one of them? You got somebody else involved to know that's going on before it even happened. Now you're not gonna bring the people's life back. They already dead and gone. But I think that's wrong. We had a kidnap right here in Gainesville, Georgia. Did you hear about that?
No, sir.
The Mexican girl got kidnapped.
Yeah, but that's not going to make it on Fox News.
It was on Fox
Oh, it was,
News.
yeah.
Oh yes, sir, it was on Fox
So a
News.
Mexican girl got
Got kidnapped.
Yeah.
She was 13 years
Oh
old.
my.
They found her 2 months later in Florida.
Hmm.
Somebody had turned her out. When they got done with her, they threw her down the street.
And that's normal, unfortunately.
Not in Gainesville, it ain't.
No, but it happens.
It
Like
happens in
Tampa, I
Atlanta.
live right outside of Tampa, and Tampa is like the trafficking capital for people. It's horrible. I mean, and they raided one city, they just moved to the next. Like a while back, they arrested 140 people in Tampa, so then they just moved to Bradenton, the town where I live. As soon as they showed up in my town, I started recording it, and then they got scared and ran off. It's a mess out there.
Well, I will say this about the African American women. Now, so much of the men don't like you seen
Oh, I
with
know
their
that.
race.
Yeah, I know that.
They call me a cracker. You son of a bitch. You go back to your own race.
Yeah,
But
they
I'll
don't
tell
like.
you a little secret though. A black girl
Mhm.
will beat the hell out of you over her man.
Yes, they will.
But a white woman, no offense, no
Mhm.
offense, no offense, they will not fight for their man. If they say if you want him, take him. I don't give a damn. But once you go black, you don't go back. Let me
Yes,
tell you.
sir.
So I've
That's
been.
very true. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find me one that's got plenty of money.
Yeah.
I want to find me a sugar mama. And I'm just kidding, but they're good.
And the things you hear stuff like she's just trying to get her credit score up with hooking up with you or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And
You hear all that crap.
They want you to sign with them and all of that. Now that ain't true. I mean, that's not
Yeah.
true. I mean, everybody wants money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm told I know she wants money. But if you ain't got money, you can't give her no money.
Yeah.
But I can give her a little bit of bam, bam, boo, boo. I
my
might
man.
be 67, but it still gets there.
Appreciate your time, brother. It's been great to meet you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna give you what I promised you for the interview, and you seem like you got a positive attitude. Stay positive, stay healthy, and I know you gotta take your medications for the pain. But you remember, I don't know how bad addiction is here in Georgia. I know in Florida it's out of control.
They got me on Percocet 5s, and
Yeah.
I only take 2 pills a day. I
Okay.
take 1 pill every 12 hours. I was taking 4 a day. I'm trying to wean myself off of them.
All right.
So I'm doing pretty good. Like I say, that my toes, I can't walk like I used to,
Yeah.
cause my whole foot.
Mhm.
I don't mind showing it to you.
Oh yeah, man, no problem, man.
Don't pass out.
No, I got you, my man.
I just, they've been missing for a couple of months now, but
Alright.
they healed up real good. See how my foot's all swelled
Oh
up?
yeah.
The bottom of my foot is all
Yeah,
swelled.
yeah. All right.
But
You
I
ain't got no infection. You staying clean. That's the
no,
main thing. out
that's
there.
what the doctors told me the other day. They said, well, one thing about you, you kept your feet is clean.
Yeah.
And they ain't bruised up.
Mhm.
But I was in the hospital. I went to the hospital again. I've been in the hospital 35 times since I lost my brother. Not because of me being really being sick,
Mhm.
but because of the stress. Because I tell everybody, if you got a family member out there who's in the hospital and they ask you to become his medical power of attorney, I didn't know what that meant now, but I'm gonna tell you something. That means hell, because
It's responsibility.
you can't. In you, and then when something happens wrong,
Mhm.
they call you the murderer. So what are you supposed to do? I mean, I don't know. You tell me, 'cause I really
Well,
don't know.
I mean, do you feel like you did something wrong or something good?
I think I did something wrong by doing it.
But hold on now. Not based on what other people feel.
I mean, based on my family members.
Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them.
I think I did the right thing.
You think you did the right thing with you?
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
because I know he was suffering. I didn't want to see him suffering. I really didn't.
All right. So look, my man. As long as you don't worry about other people's criticism. If you had do you have bad intentions when you did it?
No.
Good intention?
Good intention.
Then you did the right thing, my man.
I thought, I didn't think he'd
How come
ever-
they didn't? Let me ask you this. How come they didn't take the power of attorney over him?
I asked them the same thing.
How come you didn't take that responsibility?
They won't. They say they didn't.
They didn't take
And
that
my
responsibility.
mama died.
Yeah.
I was the same way with her.
Yeah.
And my dad died. He was a sorry bastard. Beat my mama up all the time. He blacked her eye, busted her in the mouth, and my aunt raised me.
Uh-huh.
I could tell you the story about my life would make you cry, but I know I ain't got that much
I got
time.
you.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm trying to get a little bit of green to
I'm trying, man.
trying to get off this damn sidewalk.
Yep.
Sidewalk ain't no fun. But some people have given me a quarter, but still it's money. You know.
I'm gonna ask you 2 more questions real quick. I'm gonna let you go. The first question is, what are the small things that make you happy every day?
Love.
Love. Okay. And the other question is, what would you say to someone who thinks they will never end up homeless?
Well, I think you're thinking wrong, because anybody can wind up homeless. I don't know.
All right.
I just don't know. And these say small things. love would be a big thing.
Yeah.
The small thing, I guess, would be
Mhm.
spend time with each other while you still can.
Yeah.
Stay in the Bible.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in God, you better start believing in God, because God is coming back. That's a nice truck.
Nice truck, man.
That's
yeah.
a nice truck. Yeah.
All right, my man. Thank you for your time, bro.
You're so welcome.